Hi guys, thank you for finding the time for registering. Today we'll speak about USPS shipping automation, and our presenter is Eric Nash from Stamps.com. Eric has worked in the internet space since 1999. He is a true expert in online direct response and social marketing. Eric is a frequent guest on online radio broadcasts, webinars, just like our webinar today, and in social media forum. So, Eric, I'm just leaving the floor to you. Please start your presentation.
All right, thank you, Senia. Great. Well, hello everyone, and thanks for joining us for today's webinar. As Senia said, my name is Eric Nash, and I'm the Senior Director of Online Marketing here at Stamps.com. Today we're going to talk about ways to automate your USPS shipping using Stamps.com software. Stamps.com has a direct integration with Xcart, so it's really cool, and it allows you to simplify your shipping process, which hopefully will save you a ton of time and a ton of money. Let's see, I'm going to switch to the next screen just to make sure. Cindy, can you see my next screen on today's topics? It's like Mike's typing. Yes, okay, great news. All right, well, let's go over some of the topics we'll discuss today. We'll start with a quick intro of what Stamps.com is and how we can improve your shipping fulfillment. And then we'll walk through a short demo of how to connect Stamps.com to your Xcart store so you can easily print shipping labels. After the demo, we'll talk about how the USPS compares to UPS and FedEx for e-commerce delivery. Talking about some different cost differences and delivery speed. And then we'll kind of go into some tips and tricks for ways to lower your shipping costs. And at the very end, we'll have Q&A. I'll probably try to split the Q&A section up into two. So we'll do, in the demo section, we'll maybe ask some questions if anybody has any specific questions on how to connect to Xcart. And if you have any questions, you can either use the chat window like Mike's already been doing, or if you want, you can email a question to alliance@xcart.com. That's alliance@xcart.com. One of the things I wanted to point out here is the versions that of Xcart that Stamps.com supports, and you can see them right here on the screen. It's 4.62, 4.42, 4.40, 4.20, and 4.111. So those are the supported versions that Stamps.com can connect to in terms of Xcart. All right, let me first start by explaining what Stamps.com is. Stamps.com is basically a software program that allows you to print prepaid USPS shipping labels for any mail class, and that's for either domestic or international packages. So basically, we're bringing all the services of the USPS right into your computer. We have a ton of shipping features. But really one of the most important ones is that we can connect to any data source to import your orders. So there's no need to ever cut and paste again. If you have one store, 5 stores, 5 eBay accounts, 5 CSV files, or whatever, we can bring all of your orders into our interface. The program essentially becomes a shipping label management system where you can see all the different orders from different sources. You can then, once the data is inside Stamps.com, you can kind of pick and choose what labels you want to print. You can kind of maybe put all of your international orders together, or maybe you want to print all of your specific box size or your specific product. Maybe you want to pull all of your blue widgets or your red widgets or whatever it may be. We make it really easy for you to kind of see all that order, all of your order data, and then it allows you to print whenever you want, either one at a time or by batch prints. And by the way, we can print up to 1,000 labels at a time. So that's a huge number. Another great feature that we provide is automation. And we're really constantly adding new and more automation features to the software. We recently launched a new rules engine called the Best Rate, which will automatically select the best mail class for your specific package. And what makes this rules engine a little different is that we take all the different shipping factors into consideration. So we're taking the weight of your package, also the box size, the destination it's going to, so whatever shipping zone it's going to, and the distance it's traveling to. but also the delivery guarantees. If a customer increases their delivery service to be expedited, we take all that into consideration and then show you what the lowest rate the USPS offers. With our new automation tool also, you can have it to where it just automatically selects that lowest price based on whatever factors you put it in. So automation is a huge benefit that we offer. And then lastly here, we provide you with all the discounted USPS rates. We automatically provide the program, which of course commercial-based discounts are your standard online USPS rate discounts. But we also offer commercial plus pricing. So if you qualify for commercial plus, we can get that into the system. We have cubic pricing. Cubic pricing, if you're unfamiliar with, it's more based on a cubic box size. It's a special rate the USPS negotiates with you. It's very common in fulfillment houses or people who send out the same size package every day. And then there's also NSA rates. NSA rates are called negotiated service agreements. That's another special USPS rate that you can negotiate with your USPS rep and get a really, really discounted rate, even better than commercial plus pricing. You have to qualify for NSA or cubic pricing for that matter, and commercial plus, you do have to ship a minimum number of packages with the USPS. So once they approve, you basically fill out a form. Once they approve you, we basically are able to turn on those rates in the back end. So we provide great rates for you. All right, let's look at our data integrations a little bit more closely. As I mentioned, Stamps.com can import data directly from shopping carts like Xcart, of course, but we also do marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, and PayPal. So if you're selling on both, say, your own shopping cart with Xcart, and then you're also maybe selling on eBay, trying to sell all your liquidation products, you can basically pull all that data into Stamps.com and have a shipping label management system. We can also import from ODBC or CSV files. And basically, we can eliminate the need for any form of cut and paste. Your address data comes right into the software. Once it's put into the software, we scrub it against the USPS database to make sure it's a deliverable address. If it's not, or if we feel that it's not a deliverable address, we'll warn you. You do have the option of ignoring that warning. Some people who sell on Amazon say they need to send it to that particular address no matter what. But we give that option to you and give you a warning. The goal here is obviously to alert you that, hey, this address is undeliverable, and don't pay for shipping because the package is going to be sent back to you. And you can see here on the screen, by the way, we post back all the USPS tracking. So the data is coming into Stamps.com, you're printing the labels, and we'll post back. And we'll talk a little bit more about that post back on the next screen. Once you print your label, we automatically post back the USPS tracking into your Xcart account or whatever data source you have. We basically post back the mail class that was used, the USPS tracking number, the shipped date, and the shipping costs. We also send out a shipment notification email to the buyer, and that email contains all the USPS tracking information so they can kind of stay updated. And there's an additional option to have that email CC'd to you as the store owner. A lot of people do like to be informed when the emails go out. Make sure they're getting them as well. But as I mentioned, this entire process of importing the data in, printing the label, and then posting back the tracking number eliminates the need for any cut and paste. When you're doing cut and paste, you could possibly make errors. Put the wrong address in, ship this wrong product. It just eliminates any type of manual error. So it really helps you focus all of your attention on bigger, important things that can help your business produce revenue and generate revenue. So it's all good stuff. Another cool thing I wanted to bring up here is that we have a promotion that we offer to all new customers, and it's a free 5-pound digital scale. The scale, it basically connects via USB cord, and it automatically imports the weight of the package into the software. While the scale is free, you do have to pay a small shipping and handling fee. It's roughly about $8 to $9 depending on where you live in the U.S. But it's absolutely free. You can see an example of it here. It's got a digital display that shows the weight. A lot of people obviously know the weight of their packages. They typically do the same stuff. But they'll use this feature to weigh the package right before they put the label on, just to make sure they didn't put any extra package filler in that may require additional postage. You know, one thing that the USPS will do is if a package does require additional postage, they usually will deliver it, but they'll put a sticker on it that says postage due, and that goes to the buyer. So imagine if you buy a product on a website, you get your package and it says postage due, you get very upset, and usually are going to write a bad review of that retailer. So we try to make sure you don't have to do that. Also, you can upgrade to a 35-pound scale, 35-pound version of our scale. If you know, 5 pounds obviously very lightweight. A lot of people will ship over that weight. So if you need a bigger scale, you can use that 5-pound scale credit that we give you and upgrade to the 35-pound version. So roughly the 35-pound version ends up being about $50. It again also connects via USB cord right into the software and imports all the data. Okay, let's talk about how easy it is to connect Stamps.com to your Xcart store so you can start importing orders. You can see a screenshot here of our interface. And basically, once you're inside the software, to make a new data connection, you can see up here in the top nav where the red box is, you just need to click on the Manage Data Sources tab and then Add Source. Once you click that Add Source, a new window is going to pop up, and this version of the window on the right side here is going to show you what you can pick. And so here you would just pick Xcart, and then you would click Next. The next page is going to instruct you to download our Xcart plugin kit. You download the kit, it's a zip file, and then once you have that kit, you'll need to open one file and basically add a unique token number into that file. It's a little text file. It's a very easy process. You don't have to have any really technical knowledge, but that unique token number has to be a random number basically. It'll be 31 digits. Most people, we certainly encourage everybody to use a randomized number site. There's a ton of them out there. You can use any site you want. Basically, you just need a 31-digit unique randomized number to go in there. Once you put that into your text file, you save it and you upload that file to your server. It's very, very simple, and like I said, it doesn't require any type of technical knowledge. Then you'll click Next, and you'll come to this page here. This is where where you put all the information about your Xcart store into Stamps.com so we can pull that data. At the top here, the web store name, this is basically the name of your store that's going to appear inside Stamps.com. It can be anything you want. For this example, I used Xcart Web Store. In the web store URL, you're basically going to put in your own URL, whatever your website name is. We have a sample Xcart account that we use, so this is the URL that we used. But it could be anything. It could be just www.example.com. And then the access token. This is that 31-digit randomized number file that we made, and we included in our text file. That number has to be here as well. It's your access token. Both those numbers need to match in order to import your data. But like I say, it's a very easy process. Once you're able to do it, it's really simple, and you're able to start connecting your screen or your data. All right. On the next screen, once you do that, your connection is basically established, and so then you're going to need to create some shipping defaults for your store. You'll get cycled through 3 screens basically to establish those defaults. This screen here shows that you can basically turn on hidden postage for all of your shipping labels. You can see I've got a little check mark here in the top square. For those of you who are unfamiliar with hidden postage, it's commonly referred to as stealth postage. It basically hides the price on the shipping label. The shipping cost is no longer displayed on the shipping label. Helps eliminate any type of customer service issues or anything like that. You can also include or you can also have any address that you ship to input it into an address book if you'd like. You can see that here in the middle box. And then you can turn on a feature to import the product description into all of your customs forms. So if you're selling international, or if you're shipping to international destinations, you can make sure to include that product description of what we import in, say from Xcart, and have it inserted right into your customs form. So it helps eliminate the need to have to worry about that. The next screen on our shipping default page here is where you would include your return shipping address. You can use any address you want. It doesn't have to be your ship from address. So if you have a separate location for all of your return shipping, you can insert it right in here. You can also include your phone number. And lastly, you can customize your packing slips. Stamps.com prints packing slips. You can have them printed as you print your shipping label. The packing slip can come out at the same time. You can also print on one piece of paper where the packing slip will be 5x7, and then you fit on the top portion, and then the shipping label will print on the bottom section. So you can then just cut that piece of paper, put the label on your package, and drop the packing slip into the box as well. All right, so that's basically it in terms of connecting. Once your connection's made, all you then need to do is click on the import orders here, which you see in the top around the red box. When you first establish your connection to Xcart, we only have the capabilities of going back 2 days, only for 48 hours. But after that initial period, initial connections established, then you can go back anytime. It's going to pull in any order that's available for shipping. So as it's been marked as paid, it will be available for shipping basically inside Xcart, and that order will be pulled into Stamps.com. And then again, once you print that label, we're going to post it back as shipped and post that tracking information back into your Xcart account. Once the data is inside Stamps.com, you can edit any order you want. You can change the address or the mail class. This is kind of important for, say somebody calls you and says, hey, I need to get the package quicker. Can I pay for expedited shipping? So we're going to pull in however the package was marked inside Xcart, or whatever the data source would be. But this gives you the ability to increase the mail class. So say maybe you had an inventory issue, and so you need to expedite the package, or someone called and says, hey, I need that product in a couple of days here rather than a couple, like 5 days. So it gives you the ability to change the shipping. Or if you want to consolidate packages, you could come up here very easily, and we have a consolidation feature, but you can go in here and make the adjustments. Or if the person says, hey, I messed up, I need to put a different shipping address, you have that flexibility to come in here and input whatever address you want for the delivery address. And you can see that right here in the middle of the screen. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in what you can do. Just one thing to note is over here in the right box here, you can see that when you click on the mail class type, we show all the different options you have, and then you also see the rates of those packages. So, if you're offering free shipping, you typically are going to want to offer the lowest cost shipping possible, since you're paying for shipping yourself. So it gives you that visibility to see what is the lowest opportunity to ship this package right there. So, and again, it just helps you save money. Another feature is that we show all the order details for each package. So as you can see, the last screen we were on the postage options up here, but there's another tab right next to that inside that particular package. This is data that's coming from Xcart or from whatever your data source is. So whatever that source is, that data will be imported in here, and it will show you. So it kind of gives you a quick idea of what's inside that package. Maybe if there was a mistake made and someone put like 1 pound or 5 pounds, and you actually come in here and see and say, oh gosh, the package is really only 1 pound or 13 ounces or something. It gives you that ability, just some more visibility. That's basically it in terms of connecting your Stamps.com account to Xcart. You're basically ready to start printing your labels. Just a reminder, we scrub all the addresses against the USPS master database to make sure that all of your labels are mailable. You also can add your logo to the shipping label here, which is you can see in the example. You can also include a message at the bottom of the shipping label. I've seen a lot of people get very creative here. It can be a promotional message. Maybe you're having a sale coming up and you want to include a promo code or a specific site to go to see. I've seen other people just say, hey, thanks for your order. Your package was shipped within 4 hours of your order. Kind of just reiterates your how fast of a order processing you are. So it just gives you can also just do something generic like this, like thank you for your business. So gives you a little extra messaging to your customers. And as I mentioned, it's very simple to connect Stamps.com to Xcart. The whole process can be done in 15 minutes with very limited tech knowledge. Before I get into the shipping tips, I was just going to kind of view the chat window here. Maybe Cindy, if you know, are there any questions related to the connection process I can answer real briefly before we get into Q&A, or should I go right into the tips to lower costs? Let's see. I'm going to see Al has a question about Xcart version 4.5.5. Al, for any new versions that come out, we're trying to get our connections upgraded. We typically will have it. I just don't have a time. We'll make a note to. I'll see if I can get a note and communicate back to Xcart when we will have that capability. All right, let's talk about some ways for e-commerce sellers to lower their shipping costs. I wanted to first talk about why e-commerce sellers should be considering the U.S. Postal Service versus FedEx or UPS, specifically for residential delivery. Stamps.com recently conducted a head-to-head shipping comparison where we sent packages to residences across the U.S. via FedEx home delivery, USPS priority mail, and UPS ground. We shipped a total of 144 packages to all 8 shipping zones, and we did it from 3 separate locations across the U.S., East Coast, West Coast, and Central U.S. The packages were shipped on 2 separate days. We shipped on a Monday, basically so all 3 carriers could have the full week to deliver the package. And then we shipped on a Thursday, so weekend delivery would come into play. The USPS provides free delivery on Saturdays. FedEx home delivery also delivers on Saturdays, but they don't deliver on Monday. And then UPS charges in order to deliver on a weekend. So we did all that, and we didn't pay for any additional surcharges for delivery on Saturday. But one area that really stood out was, besides costs and some other issues, but one area that really stood out was package delivery speed. So as I mentioned, we shipped to all 8 shipping zones from each of our 3 locations in the U.S. And typically today's customer wants faster delivery. I mean, they want that delivery pretty much for free or for a very low cost. With so many people signing up for Amazon Prime these days, buyers are starting to feel like 2-day delivery is the norm. And so as online retailers, you all probably are facing this same problem. And you really need to get the package delivered to your buyer as fast as possible. You can see here in the blue bubble, this blue bubble is for the normal delivery, which packages were shipped on Monday. This is an average total days to delivery for each carrier. And you can see the USPS had the lowest average with 1.79 days versus FedEx, which was second at 2.21 days, and UPS ground at 2.75 days. And if you look over to Thursday delivery, where weekend delivery came into play for the items that were shipped on a Thursday, the USPS went up a little bit, up to 2.08, but FedEx and UPS ground really went up significantly by an extra day. And this is basically because of the weekend delivery. So it's really a great, USPS really provides a great option to get packages into your buyer's hands quickly. With that said, the USPS has spent a lot of money over the last few years upgrading their infrastructure, and this is really specifically for e-commerce shippers. I'm sure everybody's realized and heard all the problems about the financial problems USPS has encountered, but they have really been adding a ton of investment into e-commerce as they see that's going to be a huge area of growth for them. And so right now, 91% of all priority mail packages are delivered within 1 or 2 days across the entire U.S. So that's a really huge number. And so your packages are basically getting into your buyer's hands when you use priority mail faster. And that helps eliminate customer support costs. You don't have calls of people calling you and saying, hey, where's my package? Or emailing you and asking for tracking information. Happier customers will want to purchase from you again and just make for a much easier process and more profit margin for you. Also, by offering free delivery on Saturdays, that means the USPS basically provides 52 more shipping days every year compared to UPS and FedEx. And that, again, also only helps for happier customers. Free Saturday delivery that the USPS offers often gets kind of forgotten, but it really is a great opportunity to get happier customers. Also, talking about that example of shipping on Thursday, you can see here, while both carriers estimate delivery to be in 2 days, because UPS Ground did not deliver on the weekend, even though they estimate at 2 days, it's still a 4-day delivery to the buyer. And really, the buyers only care about how much time it takes them to get the package to them. Whereas USPS delivered that package in 2 days on a Saturday. So, USPS really provides some great benefits for helping to have happier customers. All right, let's talk about priority mail regional rate boxes. These boxes were introduced a few years ago, and they were basically created to utilize the space better inside the USPS trucks, as well as their air cargo. There's basically 3 box sizes you can choose from, and they have a maximum weight. The pricing is based on zone, but each of these boxes have a maximum weight. Box A, which really is the most popular, can go up to 15 pounds. There's 2 versions of this box, by the way. There's a top loading and a side loading. So they have some good opportunities. They're a little bit smaller than the medium flat rate box. But the point I wanted to bring up here is don't let the regional name fool you. Regional rate boxes offer huge cost savings for shipments in a seller's local region, but also traveling across the entire country. In particular, regional rate box A is the lowest cost option for packages traveling across the U.S. weighing between 2 and 15 pounds for all priority mail. There is no way to ship it cheaper. Even regular priority mail is not as good of a rate here. So, and you can see the examples here in this pricing from a 3-pound package going from Los Angeles to New York, which is Zone 8. You'd basically save $1.33 compared to shipping a medium flat rate box, which you can see the regional rate's $9.97. You would save $5.83 compared to a large flat rate box, and regular priority mail you would save more than $6. So it's a great opportunity for you to save. And so I know a lot of people have heard of regional rate boxes, but we still encounter a lot of people not using them. So we highly encourage you to use regional rate boxes. Another great way to save is to use envelopes instead of boxes wherever possible. Now, of course, this tip is not going to work with every product since some items are breakable. But if you have a durable product, and there can be a ton of different items that would work, such as, say, if you're selling golf balls or sporting equipment, things that are very durable, or even clothing and T-shirts, you could use a Tyvek or a poly envelope. And the beauty here is that Tyvek or poly envelopes are really durable, but they also only weigh a half an ounce, compared to a typical box that weighs 4 to 4.5 ounces. This can help you keep your overall shipping weight low, and hopefully it can get you into a lower mail class, mainly first-class package service. First-class package service is the best deal in all of shipping. If you're unfamiliar with it, it basically goes up to 13 ounces. and it can, I mean, pricing is very, very cheap. You can see some examples here. You know, for a 12-ounce package going from LA to Vegas, which is Zone 3 from Los Angeles, the first class package going through a Tyvek envelope is only $347. And by the way, that's a 12-ounce product, so adding the Tyvek envelope only brings it up to half an ounce, so you're able to still ship it. Had we put that item in a box, we would have been at the 1 pound rate, and we would have had to ship it at priority mail. You can see the price difference here. $347 for a first-class mail using the Tyvek. If we did a padded envelope, it would be $570. Or if we did a regular priority mail box, which is 1 pound, it's $523. So the savings is really, really big. And so whenever you can use envelopes, certainly we suggest using them. Another great tip for smaller items is to use padded flat rate envelopes. Padded flat rate envelopes are a great deal. They can go anywhere in the U.S. for $5.70, and they can hold up to 70 pounds if you can get it in there. But the cool thing, what a lot of people do now is they're putting boxes inside a padded flat rate envelope. This is very common for coffee mugs or other small items that need a little bit of that could be fragile. They need a little bit of the durability of a box, but they're not very big. So it gives you the ability to put that item inside that box, stick it in a padded flat rate envelope. The USPS is their model of if it fits, it ships. Their only guideline here is that the envelope must close properly. You can't like tape the envelope or do anything like that to make sure it closes. As you can see in this example, the box leaves a little extra room. So when you go to close that flap, the envelope can close correctly. You can put tape over the envelope as well, but it can't have any gaps or anything like that. The envelope must kind of seal correctly, and then any tape is just be additional security. So so this is another great option, and it's basically you can ship anywhere in the U.S. for $5.70, and that's up to 70 pounds. So as you can see the example here, if we were shipping with priority mail, it would be $7.55. So it's a great way to save $1.85. My last tip today is for international shipping. And hopefully you're all selling to international customers, because it's certainly a great way to grow your revenue. Stamps.com certainly makes it easy as we automatically select the correct customs form for you. There's 3 different customs forms for shipping internationally, and they're based on the value of the product, the total weight, and the destination. We automatically select the correct customs form for you. We also import the delivery address right into your customs form. We include the date, and also we put your name on it, and which is basically like a digital signature. So if you were ever to complete a customs form manually, you would have to sign that to kind of verify it. But with Stamps.com or any online postage vendor for that matter, we do the digital seal, which allows you just to type your name in. So it's a great opportunity to grow your revenue, but there's some important things that you want to pay attention to. And that's one thing is that every country has restrictions on what products can be shipped into it. And the important thing here is to know if your product you're selling is prohibited from going into a specific country. You know, this list changes somewhat. It doesn't change often, but sometimes, like if there's an issue, like a social issue or a health issue, such as the bird flu virus that's kind of come around over the last couple of years, oftentimes countries will change their restrictions based on health scares and concerns. So a couple years back when the bird flu virus came about, a lot of countries stopped allowing bird byproducts or such as feathers and things like that. And you can see some other odd items here. You know, a lot of countries have very strange things. You would think, oh, no big deal, I'm going to sell shoes into Italy. But they actually restrict any type of shoes, or specifically leather shoes, going into Italy. Or non-wooden toys. So any really toy that's got plastic on it, they would not allow. Canada, you're not allowed to sell pins or ship pins valued over $5 into. Mexico, you can't ship jewelry into. So the benefit here is know what products are restricted before you sell it and ship it. And if you happen to ship it to them or sell it to them, you can alert them and say, hey, I'm sorry, this product is restricted from shipping into your country. I'm going to refund your money. So it prevents you from spending that money, that shipping cost, and then having an unhappy customer because they're going to rely on you to know that information. Stamps.com, by the way, provides a list of what restrictions. It's updated every day. We connect to the USPS master database and pull this data down. Again, things don't change that often, but if something was to change, you get alerted and notified. So gives you some great information to know if your product can be shipped into it before you actually ship the product. Okay, that's it for our tips. I wanted to mention that we have a special offer for all XCart customers. We have a 4-week trial, and you get some free postage coupons. Our special offer is we give you an additional $20 in extra coupons to use. You can sign up for this offer just by going to stamps.com/x-cart. Again, that's stamps.com/x-cart. It's a 4-week trial. You can get the scale. We send you a supplies kit. Again, we highly encourage you to give us a try and see if we can simplify your shipping process. We think it really will save you a lot of time and will allow you to spend your time on more important things such as sourcing product, other marketing tasks that are out there. We can really simplify the shipping process for you. So that's it for me here. I'd like to go to Q&A time here. So if you have a question, please type them in the chat window or email them to Cindy at alliance@xcart.com. That's alliance@xcart.com. Cindy, I'm going to send it back to you. Do you want me to look at the chat room to answer questions, or how do you want to do the chat or the questions?
Eric, thank you for your excellent presentation. I'm really impressed with the life hacks you suggested, such as a box and the envelope and etc. Really, thank you so much. I cannot see any questions in my mailbox, but I do see one in the chat window. The question is about aerosols and different hazardous materials, such as hairspray. Just check this question.
Yes, I see that question from Gene about aerosols. And, you know, the USPS basically says if you're going to ship anything that's flammable, such as an aerosol can would be, this often comes in with perfume as well. You have to ship it via ground delivery. It cannot be shipped via air. So that basically means that you really can only ship it via a service called Parcel Select. That's basically the USPS's ground delivery. The shipping delivery time is basically 3 to 8 days, depending on what part of the U.S. it's going to. You're not able to ship aerosols or anything flammable outside of the U.S., and that's mainly because you're going to have to, to leave the U.S., it will have to go via an airplane. So they don't allow that. One other thing to point out here, such as like Gene's asking about hairspray, is they have a form that you need to fill out and state that it is a flammable product. I forget the name of that form. If you want to email me or email alliance@xcart.com, I can get that information to you to how you would do it. But it is possible to ship hazardous materials via the USPS. You just have to do it via ground, which is Parcel Select, and you will have to include a form.
Okay, thank you, Eric. And another question is from Jan. She would like to know, what is the monthly fee after the trial period is over?
Great. I see Joanne's question. Yes, Joanne, the monthly fee is $15.95 a month. And so the trial is free, gives you 4 weeks to try the software and see if you like it. Again, we actually give you $5 in free postage to use, so you can sign up and have your account connected to XCart in literally 5-10 minutes, and you can be printing postage right away to see if you like it. If after the end of that 4 weeks, if you don't like the service, you would have to call and cancel, and we won't charge you at all. You'll be able to try it. You'll be able to use that $5 in postage. You can get the free scale. But if you don't cancel the service, that's when we start charging you. So it's $15.95 a month, and basically for $15.95 you get access to all the different opportunities we provide, the discounted rates, the ability to import orders from all the different places, packing slips, email notifications, and everything else. So we also have a telephone support, tech support. It's based here in the U.S. It's open from Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So if you had a question with connecting your XCart account or any other, say an eBay account or anything like that, you can call our support team, and they will actually walk you through the whole process. Again, it's telephone support here, based in our U.S. headquarters here in Los Angeles, and we're really proud of our support team. We've won a lot of awards. So we highly suggest you try it, and then if you don't like it, you can use the $5 in postage. You get the free scale, and then you can cancel, and that was it. You got at least to try out the program.
Thank you, Eric. And there are two more questions. The first one is from Kevin Kledzock. The question is, will the system work for locations outside of the US, shipping internationally or into the US?
Yes, Kevin. Unfortunately, no. You have to be inside the U.S. to use this software. That's basically a license issue we have with the U.S. Postal Service. We don't really have any other connections with other postal services. With that said, I've heard of a lot of people who live in Canada that will use our software and then drive over into America and then drop the labels off or the packages off at a post office. But that's certainly not the way it was intended to be used. But yeah, basically you have to be in the U.S. to use this program.
Okay, thank you. And another question is from Belinda. The question is, do you need to use special labels or printers for shipping labels?
A great question. Absolutely not. You can use regular paper. You can really use anything that you normally print on to print shipping labels with Stamps.com. So if you're using regular paper and you're just cutting your labels out and taping it on, you're more than welcome to do that. You can use any type of labels you want, whether you buy them at a online retailing store such as like onlinelabels.com or any of the places that really provide discounted shipping labels. Or if you were to buy labels at like a office superstore like Office Max, Office Depot, or Staples, we're pretty much very flexible and can work with any type of shipping label. And that includes thermal printers, where our software is compatible with all thermal printers. So if you have a Dymo or a Zebra or any type of thermal printer, Stamps.com can connect to that thermal printer, and you're able to use thermal printers to print off your labels very easily.
Okay, thank you so much. I see David Clark is typing something. I'm expecting another question. So please, David, enter. Now the question is from David. Is this only for the new customers? I guess the question is about the special offer. So, is it right, David? Yes. So, Eric, is your special offer for new customers?
Yes. Yes. So, David, unfortunately, yes, the special offer is only for new customers. However, you should have gotten a lot of this. Basically, you would have gotten $25 if you had signed up in postage when you originally signed up for Stamps.com. So the only thing that the XCart offer offers an additional two $10 postage vouchers. So like if you're looking at the scale and you're asking, hey, I didn't get the scale when I signed up, you certainly should be able to get that, and we can, I'm sure, make it work. So if you want to email alliance@xcart.com, and I'm sure Cynthia can forward that to me, and we'll make sure you get the scale over to you. Again, you do have to pay roughly $8 to $9 shipping and handling for the scale. But if that's what you didn't get and you're asking about, And the postage coupons, if you never receive those, they should be in your account as well. So you should still be able to redeem those also. So for the new customers, the X-Cart deal is a special unique deal, so you should be a new customer to get that, but we can get other stuff as well.
Thank you. And Eric, another question from Raymond, who'd like us to repeat which versions of X-Cart are supported. I have just switched the slide where the supported versions are listed, but please repeat this for our guests.
Absolutely. Yes, Raymond, you can see the versions on the screen here. It's 4.62, 4.42, 4.40, 4.20, and 4.1.11. That's the current versions that we have documented. There may be some of the newer versions that we're compatible with as well. I think Gene or someone earlier asked, or Al had asked if we supported 4.55 and 4.63. I'm going to get an answer to that right away. I'll find out if we do support those more newer versions, and if not, I'll find out when we will. So typically when new versions come out, there's not a lot of adjustments on our developer side that they need to do. That's usually some tweaks here and there. So I'll find out exactly when we can have our compatibility with those new versions, and I'll shoot that over to Cinia so she can communicate that message out to everybody.
And there's a question from Belinda, who asks if version 5 is supported. We were discussing this already via emails, but as I know, this integration is planned, but not into the nearest future. So, Eric, are you ready to answer this question? When you are planning to develop X-Cart 5 support?
Yes, I'll find out all these different versions, including I see Wayne's asking about 4.1.9. I'll find out, what versions we are compatible with, and if any of these are missing, which I'm writing down right now. If any of these are missing, I'll find out, what our estimated date will be when we do support them. Our game plan is to, support any X-Cart version that comes out that's new. And so basically, from a set period, we'll support every version from, say version 4.1.11, and forward. So, with that said, I have to check with the developers to find out exactly when. Sometimes it's just a matter of that they were unaware a new version came out. So we'll find out, and I'll get all the information communicated back to Cinia X-Cart to hopefully relay to you.
Okay. Thank you. Next question is from Kevin Craddock again, who asks whether stamps.com is connected to any fulfillment companies.
I'm wondering if Kevin, are you probably mentioning something like FBA or something like Shipware? So with FBA, we're not connected with them unfortunately yet. There's some stuff coming in the future, but I don't have an ETA when that is. And we don't really have any connections with specific fulfillment companies, something like a Shipware or anything like that.
Okay, thank you. I have seen another person was typing something. I have not noticed who exactly was the other of the author of the question. But anyway, let's just give the chance for our guest to press enter. So, any new questions?
Cindy, I'm just going to email. I'm going to put something in the chat room too. I'd love for Kevin, who asked me about the fulfillment companies, if he could email me, what he's looking for, just because we would love to maybe use somebody like him as for our testing our new modules. So I'm gonna, if that's okay, can I put my email address in the chat room?
Let's just ask. So you want me to? You have already.
I just did it right there.
Yeah. So it looks like we have no more questions, neither in the chat window nor in my mailbox. So I guess it's time to thank you all for attending. Thank you, Eric, for your excellent presentation. I think it's one of the most interesting webinars for our merchants and customers. And there is something Mike White is going to add.
I would just say
Mike.
thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. And anybody who has questions, please email us, either at alliance@x-cart.com, or you can email me directly, enash@stamps.com. It's, if you're shipping USPS through Xcart, stamps.com can really help expedite the whole process. We can provide you opportunities to save money, and really provide you a lot more time, so you're able to, like I said, focus on bigger revenue opportunities.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for that. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.